Hey, it's Ryan at Disruptarian Radio, Disruptive Media, and I'm preparing for my next adventure. So, been here in Cebu City. I'm in Lapu-Lapu currently, but between Cebu City and Lapu-Lapu, they're basically the same for the last year now. I came here on, I believe it was November 17th, 2024. Today is November 8th, 2025, so it's been a year, and I do love this place. You can see it's really a pretty place. It's, excuse me, it's filled with natural disasters lately. In October, between October and November, I had to move between three different houses. We had a 6.5 earthquake that cracked the walls and destabilized one of our condos. And then we moved to the next building over in the same complex. And then we had the 6.5 was the first one. And the 7.2 was the second one within like 9 days of each other. And then, 100 or so little aftershocks, noticeable ones. There's several hundred. But that were noticeable, we had about 100 aftershocks. So that high-rise building, it was 17 floors. I took video to show that it destabilized the walls and it started buckling around the elevators. And this building it's nice. It was built in 2019. It's well built, but man, so much destruction in Cebu. From those earthquakes, so many people, many people died. Lots of collapsed buildings and, destruction. If you look up in Bogo, in the province here, up in the northern part of Visayas, of the Cebu province, you'll see like the McDonald's, the Jollibees basically collapsed. Just for some landmarks, but so many others too, so many houses. And then I moved here to this little place, which is a lot less busy. I like this little area of Lapu-Lapu. And my apartment is only 2 stories high. It's a loft apartment, so it's got an upstairs and a downstairs, and then there's an apartment above me. So it's 8 units total. It's not nearly as big as the 17-floor building at Ocean Crest that I was at. But this building got all flooded out while I was here, and power was out for most of the day, and all of these streets were underwater. And all these trees and everything, lots of destruction, lots of businesses with their signs blown off and whatever. Lots of damage. And there's supposed to be another typhoon coming, so that was, what was that one? Jeez, I don't even know the name of it now. Why am I having a brain fart? But there's another one coming. Just so many natural disasters. This is just like 2017, 2018 for me, where I had my family in Puerto Rico. We went through the worst hurricane in recorded history, Hurricane Maria. And then 2 weeks before that, we went through another Category 5, which was Irma, literally 20 days apart. So Irma was September 6th, and Maria was September 20th of 2017. And then we went to Ireland just in time for Hurricane Ophelia. It barely hit right before we got there, but we got there for all the destruction and the power outages and everything. And then we ended up in Hawaii for I know there was one more natural disaster we went through. Geez, why can't I think of it? But anyway, we ended up in Hawaii for the Kilauea eruption that was a kilometer from our house. So we were in Nanavali Estates, and the eruption happened next door in Leilani Estates, which is literally one kilometer from the fissure that erupted. The fissure 8, that was the big one, and it flowed past our house for like 7 months. It didn't do any damage to our house, but it limited access and You know, a lot of people around us got evacuated. So it's like I can't avoid these natural disasters. They're all over. Gosh, I know there was one more that we went through. Geez, we went through so many. We went through so many countries that year. But anyway, I know there was 5. I just can't think of the 5th one. But this year, so I've been through multiple earthquakes and then a typhoon. Tino, that's the name of the typhoon. Typhoon Tino. It's the one I just went through. And then when I was in Thailand in July, there was that Cambodian-Thailand war that broke out, and I was there, like closer to the northern border. Bangkok's in the south. I was in Chiang Mai, and I didn't see any of the issues. I didn't like have any first-hand account of any of the issues, but it was happening while I was there. What was awesome is I got there before marijuana was made illegal again for recreational use. So I got to go to all the stores and buy cannabis and experience the cannabis lifestyle in Thailand. The legal, open recreation usage of cannabis in Thailand. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you around and see a lot of what I'm seeing here. And we were fortunate because just before the typhoon, 7-Eleven opened, and they were the only store that was open because they had a generator, which was really fortunate. And I didn't have a lot of preparation, so I bought a little propane stove there. My electricity was out. They had a propane stove at 7-Eleven. I bought for like, I don't even know, it was like $30. It wasn't very much. And I got some food to prepare. I brought candy for all the neighbors, and they were really nice to me. They let me use their power bank to try to evacuate, and if I needed to, I didn't know whether it was going to get worse, but I was able to get some stuff arranged with Airbnb and work on that situation because the neighbors helped me when my phone died. Everybody is so nice here. I've been really blessed to be here for the last year. And the only reason why I don't want to stay is that pretty much every girl I've dated see a Westerner and they think we're rich. And I'm very clear that I'm poor, I'm retired, I got a lot of kids. I bought tickets for my daughter to come out here for 5 months and, paid for her stay while she was here, and, bought tickets to go back for me and her. And, I paid for birthday presents and Christmas presents, and even though I'm on a retirement income, it's really hard for me. But I'm not rich. I'm definitely one of the poorer foreigners who travel here in Cebu, and a lot of the girls they think, even without telling me or giving me any indication in the beginning that that's what they're interested in, but it seems as though they're dating for money. It's common here. I watched a Filipina pee. Before I came out here, I watched her, and I got a synopsis of how it works. And, that's pretty much how it works. A lot of these local girls are tired of being poor, and, they'll date a foreign guy because he has a little more income than the local guys do. And, that's really what it comes down to. And it wouldn't be so bad. I don't mind providing a good lifestyle. I live pretty good here, but I just don't have extra to support family and, extended family and, random kids that weren't revealed to me right away. I dated a girl who had 5 kids, but when she came to me, she only had 1. And lo and behold, she's got, 5 total. And 1 on the way now, the one that isn't even mine. Apparently she got pregnant while I was in Thailand. And, I'm not gonna support 6 kids. I just can't do it. I've got 5 of my own, biologically. So that was, 10 months of my stay here, dating that girl, off and on. And then other girls that I dated, who were dating me, but also had a husband. One that I found out had a husband that was undeclared when I came. And I came for her, and I got here, and we spent some time together, but she kept leaving abruptly. I finally dodged down to her house the last time she left on the bus. abruptly, just randomly, and I took a cab and went directly to her house because I knew where her house was. I found a geolocation that she had sent me in case the typhoon that was coming in last year, put her in danger or did anything that, would, put her in danger. And so I beat it down to her house, and lo and behold, she's got a husband. All her neighbors, her family, they all are like, oh, whoa, she's married. And so, I don't know, it's just, for such a Catholic-oriented country and a Christian-oriented people, it's really hard to find those women that are, virtuous. I don't know how else to put it. Virtuous, I guess. And I'm looking for that, or I'll just be alone. At this point, I've had 5 kids. I've produced 5 kids in this world. I've not had them myself, obviously, but I have 5 biological children in the world: Constance, Jenny, IRL, Amelie, and Casey. I've been married twice. I'm still married now, apparently. I tried to get divorced, but this woman was uncooperative while I was there on the divorce. But I got married to her, and 3 days later I realized she is not a virtuous woman. She has way too many, male friends and interests, and spends way too much time chatting and having romantic conversations. And, within 3 days of marrying her, I filed for divorce. That was last July. Yeah, we were married for like 3 days. We married on, was it July 3rd? And by July 6th, I'd filed for divorce, but we're still going through that issue. And at this point, I'm ready just to be single and work on my projects, and that's what I've been doing. So I've been developing software at spunwebtechnology.com. I'm back in the grind of developing WordPress plugins and themes and Windows applications and Android applications. So, and even a Chrome application. So I've developed 8 applications. I've released. Oh, and I've also WordPress is just the go-to dashboard interface for me for hosting the development projects that I'm working on. But for VeracityIntegrity.com, I finally got Verifact finished. Now, Verifact is just for writers to authenticate the truth or veracity of a story or of a source. It is not the full-on interface for parsing algorithms for lie detection. That's my next project. But I did get the first project that I call Verifact completed, which is for journalists or just people who don't trust the fact checkers, like from Facebook and things like that. So Facebook laid off all their fact checkers, not fact checkers, but fact checkers. Last year, I believe, Zuckerberg was saying that he was, no, it was after Trump got elected. So it's been within the last year, all the fact checkers lost their job. But there's no less censorship. Not at all. I mean, so many people I know, like Barry Cooper, who used to get millions of views on his videos for Never Get Busted, this year won multiple film awards, like at the Sundance Film Festival. I think he won Best Independent Film and all this. He used to get millions of views. He gets thousands now. I used to get hundreds of thousands of views. I have many on my ex-cannabis channel from 10 to 14 years ago that used to get hundreds of thousands. One got 900,000. I'm getting hundreds of views, and if I'm lucky, thousands of views, but never tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands like I used to get on YouTube. And nobody sees my feed on Facebook, so I'm clearly shadow banned on most of these platforms. And so I am building radio apps for streaming and for chat, so that you can chat and listen to radio streams at the same time in a community forum, community format. And then I'm using a bunch of community plugins that I didn't build, but that make communities, similar communities to such things like Facebook or X, that are independently hosted, so that you don't rely on big tech and their censorship. that instead of paying for their advertising, you can just make direct links with other content makers and, develop SEO backlinks yourself and fund your own progress instead of funding these big tech platforms that censor people. So I've integrated IRC and Matrix, both of those different chat functions, into a radio listening program, and then I've created a radio automation engagement bot that does song requests in chat. So chat in IRC or Matrix chat, guests can request a song with a flag and say request song, and then it goes to my bot, and then the song will be played in some sort of a algorithm, whatever I devise, and it is all automated, and then the bot interacts with users. So 24 hours a day, it'll give song announcements, it'll give feedback to users, it'll give feedback to the DJ, it'll do song requests and all this. So I call that Airwave Automator, and I've got a domain for it, airwaveautomator.io, and so that's what I've been doing. And so even if I don't have a woman and young children and everything like I used to have, and I used to love that, I still love that. I love being a father, I love being a husband. But if I can't find a virtuous woman, there's no point. I'm not going to just sacrifice everything for no quality of life, in return. I want a good quality of life and a loyal woman. If I can't find that, then I'll be alone and I'll continue to work and do what makes me happy. But I will be going back to the U.S. soon. It might not be in November, it looks like, after all of the damage from the hurricane or the typhoon and the money I spent to kind of prepare for that and to relocate the girl that I was with her kids. I paid for some of her relocation costs. So I won't be traveling back to the U.S. this month, it looks like. It'll probably be next month is what it's looking like. But I'm coming home. It's a much better country now. Now that Trump has kind of sorted some of the crime and the corruption out. And the economy is doing a lot better, so I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to be closer to my kids and seeing what everything has, evolved into since Trump has taken office. I don't think it's all good, but I definitely think it's a lot better than it was under Biden and Obama. 100%, maybe 1,000% better than it was under Biden and Obama. Not saying it's perfect, not saying Trump is my guy, but with all the other options, I'm glad that it was him that was elected. Anyway, check us out at disruptarian.com and spunwebtechnology.com to see all of the new development projects. Take care.